folks. My name is Janaki. And this is Madame Bathsheba. And together we are Catamancy Tarot. So today I thought we would do something a little bit different, and I thought I would take you guys along for a ride in a sort of organizational tarot collection journey. So as I may have shared a little bit in my last video, I've been doing a little bit of collection maintenance, and up until this point I've literally kept my whole deck collection on one shelf, and it doesn't fit anymore. It doesn't fit. As you can see, excuse me little cat, as you can see, it's full to the brim. And it's, you know, people talk about deck overwhelm, and I think I would just feel a lot better about having a little bit more space for things to breathe, and then you can see things more. And I've also had, you know, overflow. I have a little bit of a shelf underneath my office space, not office space, altar space, and it's filled up. And then you have, you know, piles of decks that just collect on your desk in your office or on your bedside table. So I thought that it was time to get a new shelf. So I ordered a shelf and it arrived. And today I'm going to have you guys help me put this thing together, and I'm going to go through and rehome everybody, and this will also be an opportunity for you guys to kind of like see my whole collection. I'm not planning on making like a walkthrough of my whole collection anytime soon, so this will be a little like quick opportunity to see, for you guys to see what I have. And it's going to live in this home, so it came with some shelves. So I've got some nice shelves here, and then it came with, you know, the dreaded little bag of doodads and bits, and I've got to screw it all in with this one of these things. And then they kindly included some workman's gloves for me. So one of my favorite things in the world is building flat pack furniture. I love it. It's a great puzzle, very physical. I'm there, I'm into it. So I thought I would just invite you guys to watch me set this thing up today. So here we go. Let's get building. Step number 1, separate out the bits into the different pieces and see what you got. That didn't take too long, and now I have a new shelf. So now I'm gonna move it into place, and then I'm gonna start moving my decks there. So here we go. did it! Ta-da! I'll go ahead and I'll walk you through what I've done here. And as you may have already noticed, I packed it full. So, whoopsie daisies, but I think I made the mistake of giving these guys a whole shelf just for these two. So what I'll probably end up doing at a later date is moving these guys up to the tippy top and then kind of like moving everybody else up a little bit. But for now, this is good. This will do. So let me show you what I've got here. So first shelf, we've got my beloved, the one and only Kazanlar Tarot. So it's got pride of place here, right along with this number, which is the Draxiodos Tarot. And this is the tarot that I use as a backdrop on my altar space. I'm going to tilt you. Hopefully this isn't too disorienting. But down here you can see I use that as a backdrop there. So those are two of my faves. And then let's see. Let's ooch this. We're ooching. So I'm just gonna be cut off here, but I'll show you guys what I've got going on here. We've got my favorite Marseille deck, which is the Piatnik Marseille. We've got small spells, the Vitriolic Tarot by the Dark Exact, and then this is the Tabula Mundi, and this is Marcella Kroll's Oracle deck, Sacred Symbols. So this is our our red section that we've got going along here. And then you'll have noticed that I like to make a lot of pouches for my decks. Sorry, the lighting, I don't have another source of lighting, and this is like in between two rooms, so it's a little dim. I'm also blocking the light a little bit. But here in this pouch, we have, this is the Tarot del Fuego. Here we have a weird little oracle that I put in this bag. It is called the Ari Kira Oracle. They've featured in a earlier video, so they live here too. This deck is actually a backup version of the Piatnik Ween, I think, or not the Ween, but the Marseille. And I can't figure out, I think one of them is fake, but I can't tell which one's fake, so I have both. Whoopsie daisies. Then here, in this one, this is my copy of the Thoth. You guys know what that looks like. Over here, in this pouch, we've got the Piatnik Queen, this guy. These are the backs. So this is a little vintage guy that his box fell apart, so I made him a bag. Sorry, I keep cutting off my face, but it's an awkward space. Then this one, this is another Marseille deck. This is the Sullivan Hismans Dodal. So it didn't come in a box, it came wrapped in paper, and so I made it a little bag here. And then next to him, this is my modified copy of the Tantric Dakini Oracle. And then on the side here, we have the Antiquarian. So that's my first shelf. And let's see, let me see if I can just gracefully, this probably won't be graceful at all, gracefully lower. Ooh, we've done it. And so this next shelf, so we've got this Geomantic Oracle, which is a vintage French deck. So we're moving into our, oh, I skipped a shelf. We're doing this shelf. Let's do that again. So starting over here, this is the Tapestry Tarot. This is a really weird one, and I've modified it quite heavily, but it's pretty funky, pretty fun. Next, this is the Navigators of the Mystic Sea. I use this one a lot for like dream work. This is my beloved. I made it up in a pouch, but this is my copy of the here we go, of the Spolia. So Spolia lives in this pouch in this nice purple section. And then here, this is the Yogini's Oracle. It's featured in a bunch of my videos. And then the next two are actually quite recent acquisitions. So I'll take these down. See, I don't know, I feel like I went with like vertical, horizontal. I wasn't sure how to best fill this space aesthetically, but we'll see how it works out. So I recently just got the Margaret Peterson in the lovely aubergine version. I'm really digging it. And then this just came in the mail yesterday. This is the Yantra Wisdom Oracle, and it's been on my wish list since the summer. And Meg from Rose Honey Ritual just sent it to me, and I'm very grateful and very stoked to have it. So these guys live here. And then this is another one of my favorite vintage decks. This is the Agorov Tarot. It's also printed by Piatnik. These are what the backs look like, but they're kind of based on sort of Russian folklore. Look, it's a guy with a sheep. How bucolic. Lovely. So I also, you know, it's nice to kind of display a couple. So we've got, ooh, barely fits. And then we've also got the David Tarot, which is another Piatnik deck. And so they get to hang out together here. Very cool. This little guy here, this one also, when I bought it, didn't come with a box, so I made him a bag. And this is my favorite Rider-Waite-Smith. This is the Golden Rider. Golden Rider gets a golden pouch. So he lives here, along with the Yeager Tarot of Meditation. This is a super rad vintage deck. And this one is Abstract Futures. It's very fun. It's from an artists collective in New York City called Homeless Ghost, so that's a really fun one. I know I'm going through these quite fast. I don't intend to kind of, this is the closest thing I'll do to like a full collection video, but I've featured a bunch of these things on my channel before. So, all right, we're gonna do this awkward slide of this thing again. So forgive the jankiness, it's momentary. All right, so now we're at this next shelf, and we're moving from our yellows here into some oranges and some mixed greens and darker greens. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this is that French Geomantic Oracle. This guy is my first ever Rider-Waite-Smith deck in its original box, which has masking tape all over it. There he is. Gets to live right there. Next to, I've got a first edition of the this guy, Carnival at the End of the World, which is a very well-known deck here on the Tarot Tube. I've got a little pouch. This little pouch is for my my mini Centennial Rider-Waite-Smith, which I trimmed. He's just a little guy. So he lives in this little pouch here. And then we'll go through the stack here. Up top we have Barbara Walker. Love her. She's great in a tin. My copy of it is modified, so I went ahead and I trimmed the borders off the back. And so that's what this guy ended up looking like. Classic. I'm a floating head. Floating head. Next, this is a newer Oracle deck. This is the Pixie Oracle by Mary Evans. It's a circle deck. Very, very Gen Z, kind of fun. Then I've got this one. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is the indie version of the Dark Goddess Tarot, so I'm really stoked that I've got this copy. Then, two recent favorites I've gotten this fall and I haven't been able to put down. One of those is the William Blake Tarot. Tarot of the Creative Imagination. I've absolutely been loving this guy, and it comes in this lovely big green box. And then I have this guy, which is the Caitlin Madison Tarot. I was very excited. It is a large one, but I was very excited about this guy. I recently got it, and I edged it in a kind of maroon color. So this is a very, very fun one, a recent one in my collection. So that lives on this shelf as well. And then the next one I've got here is one of my all-time favorite Oracle decks. This is the Road to Nowhere Oracle. This is another Mary Evans deck, but this one unfortunately is out of print, alas. Now we'll squeeze these guys back on in here. Reach your zenith. Don't mind if I do. William Blake. There's so many decks, guys. All right. And then to the side here, this is a old school El Gran Tarot Esoterico. Very fun. This is a really fun one. It's a little bit, you know, its own thing. Then I've got a 90s copy of the Aquarian Tarot. This is a classic. You guys know what this one looks like. And then this is the first, my prototype of making pouches. This is the first pouch I ever made. It's not the best pouch, but it's all right. And inside we've got this guy, the Voyager, and I trimmed my copy. So we've got our trimmed Voyager here. We'll put that guy back in, and we'll move along. We're moving into our blue period. Although I'm clearly dressed for the green period, but that's okay. Also, we're getting a little bit more shadowy here. We'll just pretend that, you know, it's winter and the light's leaving us and there's nothing that can be done. So here's the blue shelf. It's very packed. I picked this, I found this. This is Barbara Walker's Oracle deck, the I Ching of the Goddess. I found this copy on eBay for like $12, and I was pretty stoked because it's out of print. And I've been using this guy a lot with the William Blake Tarot, and they've become good friends. It's been a good spooky season deck. It's always fun. So that's our blues. I've got two little guys here. This is the Cards of Chaos by Aya Rosen, which is a make playing cards deck. And then I have Pixies Lenormand in a tin. One of two tin decks I have. And then this is a very, this is a Russian tarot. I don't know too much about it other than it was published in 1993. Magical Cards. It's a quirky one. And then moving along, this is the Polish tarot, which is, and I like the backs a lot because JP are my initials, and it's one of those ones where it says the same thing up and down. Pretty cool, pretty nifty. So my Polish tarot, and then this is the Talisman Tarot, which was a Kickstarter from last year. It's a very kind of abstract and like gestural Marseille. So you can just see kind of like the outlines. So that's also part of this blue group. And then we've got this little stack going here. You can see blue is a popular color, blues and purples. This was a gift recently. This is the Guided Hand Tarot. It's a indie deck that's got some sort of lighthearted, very sweet, vintagey vibes. This one's still available. Then I have the Alcaringa Oniromancy deck. So this is made by the same folks who made the Gothamancy Tarot. And so it's got some, these are some of the people. It's a good deck to use for dream work. And then moving right along. This is the Baba Studios Fantastic Menagerie Tarot. This is a very sort of popular one. You guys have seen it before, I'm pretty sure. This deck is one of my favorites. This is the Abyssal Tarot. It's a underwater photography deck. It's got a quite unique viewpoint. Here's a flash of probably some nude figures, but it's a very emotional deck, which I dig. So that's the Abyssal. Here is another one of my favorites. This is Leonora Carrington's Major Arcana deck. I love the way it smells. This is a perfumed deck. Come on, it's good. Silverbacks. It's just a Majors Only deck by surrealist painter Leonora Carrington. I use this deck for altar work sometimes, but a very, very good companion to have. And then this purple guy is the Dream Dust Shamanic Tarot. I think this was out of print, but I think, not on the mailing list, but I think that she's printing this again. So if this one was ever on your list, I would look into that because I think it's being reprinted. But it's an abstract painting deck, so another one that I like to use for dream stuff. Alright. Making progress. We're making progress. I hope you guys are enjoying this tour. It's kind of fun to see these in a new order. It's just fun to get to, like, you know, hang out with them in a different way. And then we've got two guys in pouches. So this one here, this is my this is the Enchanted Tarot, and mine is like very heavily trimmed, so I trimmed off all of the large white borders, so now they're this cute little size. So that's the Enchanted Tarot, and this deck has like several editions. They have the really big ones, so you can keep an eye out for that. And then this deck here, this is a Spanish deck, but it's a Spanish Egyptian deck. So we can see some of these Egyptian boys It's a pip deck. It's one of my favorite colorways of the Egyptian decks that were sort of popularized a while back. So it's a, the images are from the turn of the century, but it's a new coloration and printing, which is always fun. And then we have another little French vintage number. This is the Persian Tarot by Madame Indira from Grimond. So I think this is an 80s deck. And then we've got another Polish deck. This is Tarot Droga. I think Droga means path in Polish. It's got these really cool maze backs, and this is one of the ones where all of the majors have a path and they all connect and you can lay them all out. And it's really fun. And the images are ceramics, like painted ceramics. So it has a really earthy, textured vibe, which I really love. So now, how low can we go? I'm already sitting on the floor. Let's see if we can limbo even further. That worked. I'm just gonna, again, be awkwardly in the shot, and that's okay. So we're in our white zone. So we've got some of my historic Marseilles. So this is the Claude Rocher. This is from Yves Renaud. And then we've got a little, this is a historic Lenormand, the Brepols Lenormand. So this is kind of like, it's got these old school backs, which are fun. And it's just a little Lenormand guy. Maybe someday I'll learn how to read it. I know the symbols, but like the readings have got me stumped a little bit. And then this is a vintage deck. This is the Zigeuner Tarot. This is one of my favorite pip decks. It's very colorful, very pippy, lots of feelings. So that's what we've got in this corner. And then here, this is the Personal Oracle by Coleman Stevenson at the Dark Exact. I love this oracle. It's very simplistic. There's lots of oracles kind of in this genre, but I like just how iconic the imagery is. So the idea is it's the personal oracle, because you create your own meanings for the symbols, which I think is quite dope. And then moving on here, this is the Apparition Tarot, which is another one of Mary Evans' Spirit Speak decks. This is the other Folger Press deck. This is Ethel Calhoun's Tarot's Color. It's also scented. It's also extremely magical. Probably one of the more magical decks. We opened up to the Devil here. And we've got Justice. So it's abstract, absolutely beautiful, incredible. I love it so much. I'm gonna treasure it forever. Then we've got the Living Altar Oracle, which is another go-to fave of the oracles. It's a little bit chaotic visually, but it's a lino cut deck with other sort of bits collaged onto it. So that forms our, got our little fish doesn't quite fit that way, and then This is the Claude Burdell, another one of Yves Renault's Marseille decks. We've got this guy, which is a curious little reprint of a deck from the 30s. It's the Thomson Lang Tarot. Very cool. And then we've got another Marseille. This is the Spanish Tarot. This is my first Marseille. This is the deck that got me into Marseille. The colors are really pretty. I love the colors in this deck so much. Every time I get it out, I'm like, wow, I should use this deck more. I love the colors. Really good colors. So that goes there. Now, are we ready for the last shelf? I don't even know if we can go this low. It's basically on the floor, but this is what the shelf looks like. But maybe we can adjust this a little bit, and then I'll just show you them, because I can only go so low. So I'll just pick them up and I'll go through this last shelf here. So in this unmarked, oh, there we go, black box, this is the Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. I think I have a first edition copy. Very graphic, sort of comic book style art. So that is that one. And then we also have the Marigold Tarot, which is another sort of beloved indie deck by Armrit Brar. The backs are absolutely beautiful with that gold marigold. And then we've got some skeleton and pip friends here. And then this is a pouch. This is also came in yesterday. I put it in the bag because it's a friend sent it to me, and it's a review copy of the new AI deck. I think it's called Aldevansen. Forgive me for mispronouncing it, but it's very cool. I like the colors a lot. It's very dreamy, and I like the kind of the more sort of abstract-y style. So very fun. Lives in this bag that I had handy. Another bag, black velvet bag, and this is where this is a deck I got this year that's quickly become one of my all-time faves. This is the Ritual Tarot by Tierra May. Yeah, if you've seen my channel at all, you've seen this deck. I love it so much. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So that's the Ritual Tarot. We'll put that back in the little bag here. As we do our little tarot limbo. Up next, this is my copy of it's an out-of-print indie deck called the Careful Tarot. So it's a little tiny collage guy. Love it. So that also lives in my black shelf. Let's see here. Who else do we have? We've got Spirit Speak, the original. This is my last Mary Evans deck. I think I have most of, I don't have all of them. I have a lot of them. So that's that guy. We've also got Dirt Gems, which is a really excellent oracle deck with plant friends, and I've done a weird fun edging job on mine. I think this is the first edition. So it has a bad box, but I like the backs better. So that's the dirt gems. Dirt gems. We're almost done, guys. We're almost through my whole collection. Thanks for sticking around with me if you're still here. This is the Tarot of the Drowning World by the same folks who made this deck, the Con and Selesnik. So this is another water photography deck, which is really pretty. It's a Marseille style deck, but they're all images taken in a garden. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Makes me crave summers in a garden. And then we've got another collage deck, which I've had for over a year now. This is by Tara Cochran. This is an indie deck. It's still available. I think it recently had its 1-year birthday, which is cute. Another great collage deck. Telesma lives there. And then only 3 left to go. This one is the Mysteries of the Black Madonna Tarot. So this is a very special deck that I thought I would never be able to own, but then she released some copies that had, a printing error. So I got some factory seconds, which I was still very happy to have. And then lastly, we've got the Medieval Scampini, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with. And last but not least, we have the Crow's Magic. And that is pretty much my whole tarot collection. I think I've got 1 or 2 decks a few other places in the house probably, but it'll all be fit in somewhere in this new schema. And it means I've also freed up a shelf on my other bookshelf, so I'm probably going to move a bunch of books, like all of my tarot books will go to that shelf, and so I'll clear up more space on my altar, which is overcrowded. But I'm quite pleased with how this came out. I'll probably be messing with it. It's, until things settle into a final place. But thanks so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this video and getting to hang out with me and build some shelves. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye for now. Hey folks, this is Editing Johnnicky here, and as I was going through my apartment yesterday, I realized I found 10 extra decks lying around that I hadn't just shown you, and the inner completionist in me wanted to share just so I have a record and everything's all in one place. So the first one that I forgot about was this little guy, which is the Adapt Tarot. I forgot about it because it was in my bag, because this is the one that I've been taking around with me. I have a full walkthrough of this on my channel if you're curious about it, but it's another little indie collage number. Then I've also got this Edward Gorey little spooky oracle deck. So that was hiding with my board games. I have a smaller copy of the Personal Oracle, which was also hiding somewhere. So this guy needs to be shelved as well. And then one deck that I forgot about because it was on my table at my desk and I was working with it was the Book of Doors, which is an Egyptian oracle deck, and so I've been working with this in anticipation of my trip to Egypt. So I'm still getting to know this one, but I'm very stoked about it. Another guy, which was in my pile to be rehomed, but I think it's going to stay with me, is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Very popular oracle deck. So I think this one's going to have to find a home on my shelves. And then the last couple are, these have all been included. I made a video about a lot of the decks I picked up when I was in India this summer, and so these were in a different pile somewhere in my house, so but they exist too. So I've got the Ancient Indian Tarot cards, which is I have a full video where I go through all of these decks, so if you're curious about them, you can look that up on my channel. So I've got these guys, which are really funky. I've got the Indian Folklore Tarot as well, which is in Hindi and English. I've got the Krishna Consciousness Oracle cards. And then lastly, I also have the Sacred India Tarot. So wish me luck with trying to fit everybody on a shelf. But I just wanted to include these guys, and I also wanted to mention that I have been, the collection that I've just shown you, I started collecting in like 2018. So it's been a long ways in the making, and so I'm very excited it's kind of like progressed to this point. And yeah, thank you for letting me share all of that with you. Okay, last one. I super duper promise. This is a limited run print of the original drawings from Antoine Court de Geblen. So this is a reproduction from Ouroboros Press, and there is a limited run print of these cards, which were taken from the 18th century manuscript. So this is one of the first sort of treatises on the tarot by a French occultist. So these cards are very, very cool. I think there was only 78 ever printed, and it was printed by 22 Teachings in association with Ouroboros Press. So I found this one while I was cleaning up my altar. Super, super duper promise. That's all, folks. Thank you.